We're working through some examples involving matrices, elementary row operations, and row echelon form. Keep watching. I'm Allison from Math Bytes, and we're doing some examples involving matrices, elementary row operations, and row echelon form. So here's our first problem. Write this matrix in row echelon form. All right, so the first thing I want to do is I want to make that first element in row 1 a 1. So I'm going to multiply every element in row 1 by 1/2. And that gives me on the top 1, -3 over 2, 13 over 2. Second row is unchanged, 3, -4, 18. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to make that first element in row 2 a 0. So let's take a little sidestep here and let's look at what happens if I multiply all the elements in row 1 by -3. That would give me in row 1, -3, 9 over 2, and -39 over 2. Okay, now going back to our matrix, let's do this. Let's take -3 times row 1 plus row 2, and we're going to replace row 2 with that. So the top row, the first row, remains unchanged. It's still 1, -3 over 2, 13 over 2. Okay, now let's look at the second row. So I add -3 to 3, and I get 0. Now, I add 9 over 2 to -4. -4 is -8 over 2, so that gives me 1/2. And then I add -39 over 2 to 18. Now 18 would be 36 over 2, so that would give me -3 over 2. All right, now all I have to do is multiply all the elements in row 2 by 2. And so I get on the top, that row is unchanged, 1, -3 over 2, 13 over 2. And on the second row, I get 0, 1, and -3. And now this matrix is in row echelon form. Okay, here's our next problem. Let's write this matrix in row echelon form. Very first thing I'm going to do is interchange rows 1 and 2. So that gives me 1, -1, 2, 2, 2, -1, 3, -2, and the third row is unchanged, 3, 2, -1, 3. Now, same principle as before. I would like that first element in row 2 to be a 0. So I'm going to take -2 times row 1 and add it to row 2. So we'll just go element by element. -2 times 1 is -2 plus 2 is 0. -2 times -1 is 2 plus -1 is 1. -2 times 2 is -4 plus 3 is -1. -2 times 2 is -4 plus -2 is -6. And the third row is unchanged. All right, now looking at our matrix, the first non-zero element in row 2 is a 1. And we're happy with that, so let's look at row 3. And let's take -3 times row 1 plus row 3. Same thing as we did before. -3 times 1 is -3 plus 3 is 0. -3 times -1 is 3 plus 2 is 5. -3 times 2 is -6 plus -1 is -7. And -3 times 2 is -6 plus 3 is -3. All right, now let's just take a look at what we have here. Now what we need is for that second element in row 3 to be a 0. So let's take -5 times row 2 and add it to row 3. All right? -5 times 0 is 0 plus 0 is 0. -5 times 1 is -5 plus 5 is 0. -5 times -1 is 5 plus -7 is -2. And then -5 times -6 is 30, plus -3 is 27. All right, now that's all that we have left to do is to multiply row 3 by -1/2. So our first two rows remain the same, and our third row becomes 0, 0, 1, -27 over 2. And now this matrix is in row echelon form. Now remember, if you need a refresher on what row echelon form is, be sure to watch our videos on that topic. And to learn more about this and other topics, watch our videos on the Math Bytes with Allison YouTube channel.